Okay, so yeah, I am presently in my closet. I am presently in my closet filming this video because this is the quietest place in the house. And the crazy thing is that it is um pretty much 3 o'clock in the morning where I live. But that's the thing is that I stay up late. It's a Friday night, and my studio is literally like a room in the garage that the previous people who lived in our house, the previous owners, they thankfully made this like turn part of the garage into like an office. And but the only thing is that like my husband's man cave is in the garage, and it's Friday night. He likes to talk loud on the phone with his friends, and even though I have a room, it's right there next to him, and so it's just like super loud. So I am, baby sleeping. My daughter, finally just took her iPad and was like, "You have to go to sleep." My 6 year old, and it's just like child. But yeah, so I am in my bedroom totally recording and whatever. So, but that does actually tie in to what I wanted to talk about. And that is yesterday, I believe it was. I'm kind of confused on my days, but yesterday on Instagram, Kick Ass Masterminds asked me, how do I manage like family time and work? And I thought, you know what, that's a really good question. And I wanted to go in more detail. I answered her on Instagram, shout out a quick message and let her know, I want to go in depth in a video about this because this is it's just one of those things that family and work is just one of those things that I am constantly just having to manage. And it's like it's like it's not a challenge. I don't see it as an either or kind of a thing. It's for me, it's more of an and. It's figuring out, okay, you know, I'm a stay at home mom. I've got a 10-month-old and I've got a 6 year old daughter. However, I have an incredible amount of entrepreneur tendencies. I always have been like that, to where I've got to be able to, have creative projects going on, or else I personally feel depressed if I'm not honoring myself and working on projects. It could be writing a book, it could be, working on an opt in or tweaking my website, or back in the days I used to I used to have a blog, a completely different blog than what I do now. And that's the thing is that now I'm getting more into YouTube videos and Instagram, social media, various social platforms, and expressing myself that way, creating Udemy courses. That's something that I'm working on right now. And so managing family and work, it's a matter of priority, and it's a matter of perspective. Is me having the perspective that first and foremost, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that's like my main gig, and everything else is just fitted in when I can. It's so different working in corporate America. Like when I was pregnant, before I get ran out of FMLA and got let go from my job as a graphic designer, is that it's like with having a corporation and having a place to go to is so much easier because I know that at a certain time I get up in the morning. I know that I get my little girl ready for school. I go to work, and I work from this time to that time, and that's the space that I have. And with jobs and everything, it's like even if I have to take home work and I've got to take home my laptop, I knew that I had, if I was like, told my husband, hey, I've got to work on this infographic, this PowerPoint, it's due tomorrow, it's due in a couple days, I've got a lot to get done and so forth, then, he would run interference and I would get that time to be able to work on stuff. But as a stay-at-home mom, with literally entrepreneurial tendencies, I don't get that space. I don't have that space, isn't there for me. And so it's literally, you know, taking and like ciphering off that space where I can, to where it's like, okay, I've got 10 minutes. And you know what? Instead of being like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is goofy filming a video in the closet. That stuff used to, several years back, when I did videos and stuff, and I'll link to a couple of them. But like literally, I had to have everything perfect. I had to, take a shower beforehand. I had to, do my hair, and it had to be right. I had to speak, and, I couldn't say or uhs, or, I was supposed to be looking in the camera. Everything just had to be like I was on CNBC or something, like I was on, part of the news or whatever. But now it's like, I just don't care. And that's the thing, is that instead of me caring about all the outside stuff that's going on, instead now with 2 kids and being a mom for 7 years almost, it's like what I hold sacred and holy isn't where I create, but what I'm creating. So the where and the when, those are all just details. So that's the thing, is that, it's like I don't see working and, being an entrepreneur and working on like my stuff as something that needs to be, and then kids as being like two things that are fighting one another. Instead, it's like a dance, to where it's like, okay, or a movement. I used to do boxing, and I saw it as something that was really kind of beautiful in nature, and that, if someone jabs me this way, then the whole thing was to deflect that jab, or they punched, and it's like, okay, let me move to the side. You're punching, let me deflect that. And that I thought was beautiful. And it's like that, to where all sorts of different things are coming at me. And I just gotta bob and weave and, focus on what I'm doing and my intention. So, how I manage family and work is just basically knowing that, I'm here for my kids. That's the thing. And I'm also one of those people that, for me, I am one of those people that I hold my creative space like very, very sacred. Like, I will get pissed off if I am like, okay, this is my time to create. Like when the kids are asleep, and, I will get pissed if I do not have my space, or, even, having a place for me to do my thing, like my studio and everything. It's like, that's my studio. That is for me to create in. And, as much as I love my daughter, and, she wants to come in and she sees these black, boards, chalkboards that are floor to ceiling, and, colorful chalk, and she wants to draw, and it's like, sorry, kiddo. No. You have your own chalk. You can color in crayons and paper and everything and whiteboards. You can go and do your thing somewhere else. This is mommy's space. And so, no, do not sit in my chair. No, you cannot use my computer. No, 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 no. And that's the thing is that, sometimes as moms or as parents, we feel like we're supposed to, give up our spaces. And I don't believe that at all. I think that we need to teach our children that, you know, they need to honor themselves creatively, and that they need to have respect and a space for them to be able to do things and be like, this is my space. This is where I go to create. And so, and then just giving up, just giving up the things the need for things to be perfect. Like this video, I'm not going to edit it. I check the sound before because I think sound is incredibly important. But, lighting is awful. Like, there's all these harsh shadows because I have a overhead light, and I could drag in my studio light and, put on, I could do all sorts of things. Put on some makeup, put on some earrings, do my hair different, whatever. Seriously, it doesn't matter. And so those things to me, those are just details that can be dropped. They can be completely dropped. But what does matter is that, like with my Udemy course I'm working on right now, what does matter is being able to just, however slow it takes, however long it takes, to be able to just chip away at it. Like today, my son, he took 2 short naps, not long at all. By the time I got my computer open and, got things going and opened up my file, 20 minutes later, he was awake. And so literally, those are some of the times. Whereas other times, he might surprise me and sleep for 3.5 hours, which is just insanity, and then can't work because I'm wondering about, is he okay? I've got the baby monitor on, go in and check on him. But that's the thing is that it's just, it's just slow and steady. And sometimes things are fast, and when they can be fast, I will move as fast as I can in that space. And so, and it's, filling myself with forgiveness, that forgiveness and permission that, like the course I'm creating, it doesn't have to be the best course. It's like, I just want to get it to a minimum threshold to where it's like, okay, I feel good with it being done at this point. Yes, there's this much more room for it to be better. But right now, if this is the minimum threshold and this is making it better, but taking 6 more months to get there, I'd rather just release it with it being on the minimum. And then go back into it, here and there, tweak some things, add some other stuff, read people's comments and reviews of the course, make it better, and then move on, and move on to another course that I'm creating, or whatever I'm working on, a podcast, whatever. And that's the thing is that, if anyone's actually watching this, and you've gotten to this point in the video, and you're a mom or a dad, and you're just like a mompreneur or a dadpreneur or whatever, or, like me, stay-at-home mom with entrepreneurial tendencies. What I want to encourage you to do is just, seriously, just drop the bullshit. For real, just drop the bullshit for things to be perfect. Let yourself just be and just create, and whatever. Because, be more guarded of what you create instead of how you create it. Because all the other crap just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So yeah, that's how I manage. That's how I stay productive as a mom and as a parent. And I'm able to pivot and bop and weave. And you got to be able to do that. If you're going to be a mom and an entrepreneur, especially at the beginning stages, before there's money or resources for nannies and all that other crap, or if you're like me and you just don't want that right now. I can't afford it, but I also don't want it. I want to be able to be home with my kid. So yeah, those are my creative thoughts. That's my creative rant. And, tell me what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts? You know, put them in the comment section below. I read all your comments. I'll, you know, I'll definitely respond to your comment when I can. So, you know, that's what I got to say. You got to just drop the crap and just do it. So, that's it.